What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful night tonight, Tuesday, and I got some playing cards. Playing cards. Right there. So these are playing cards that are. The theme is boxing movies. So we're gonna take a look at these right now. I'm a big fan of boxing movies. We know about the Rocky movies, we know about Raging Bull, but there's a ton more that a lot of people don't know about. For example, the Coming Back Kid Denver. We're going to go through a few of these. Know what that is. Anybody's Blonde. Looks like a new one. Mr. Moto's Gamble. Oh no, Hard Punch. Of course, Raging Bull. Get that. This one is called Triumph of the Spirit, William Dafoe. Willem, right? Willem. It's like these people, they, Willem. You got a baby and there's a name William, and then you go, no, we're gonna go Willem. That's probably a name too, I just never heard of it. He's the only Willem. W-I-L-L-E-M. We're gonna name him Willem. The Champ. I saw this when I was a lot younger. Emotional movie. Tough Enough. Have no idea what this is. Clint Eastwood. Any Which Way You Can, it says. Any Which Way You Can. I don't know. I've never seen that. Split Decision. Gene Hackman. Look at that. Then we have, right after Rocky, Stallone went and created a not so popular fight movie, but I mean, I saw it, and this is the one where he sings the theme song, and you should have had Frank do it. Paradise Alley. We have all the Rocky movies in here. Rocky 5, Rocky 4, Rocky 3, Rocky, a little bit out of order, Rocky 2, very emotional ending there. Winner Take All, James Cagney. Buster Keaton. Looks like a serious movie. The Main Event. Or just, I don't know, it says The Main Event. Vera Reynolds. Like the hairstyle on her. I don't know what that is. Laurel and Hardy. I'm sure this was a serious movie. Any Old Port. Charlie Chaplin, City Lights. They Made Me a Criminal. They Made Me a Criminal. The Three Musketeers. Heroes of the Saddle. Robert Livingston. I've always been a fan of that name. It has a creepy Livingston. I knew a friend years ago. Livingston was his name. He looked like they could have put him in a 1930s horror movie, Livingston. But I also know, was it Livingston Bramble, the fighter, beat up Ray Boom Boom Mancini a few times. Great fighter. But Livingston, I presume. So anyway, right there. I don't know what this is. Wildcat Sundries. I don't know what that is. Navy Bound. Iron Man. Rock Hudson is in this. The Ring. Guy looks like Tarzan swinging. This is in Spanish, but The Prize Fighter, another serious movie here. Tim Conway and Don Knotts, Mr. Furley. Mr. Furley, I am a huge fan of Mr. Furley. I preferred Mr. Furley over the Ropers. I just connected with him. I liked the Ropers too, but I liked Furley a little bit more. Muhammad Ali, When We Were Kings, the Ace of Spades. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. One Round Hogan. One Round Hogan. I mean, this guy, tough looking fighter. Very tough. Jackie Gleason, The Sting 2. I never knew there was a 2. I knew the original, but they made a sequel. I didn't know that until I get these playing cards. This one here is another serious one. One of my favorite shows in the old days was Good Times. Jimmy Walker was in it, and he's also in this one. Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby. He is right there. Very serious looking movie. Oh, this one here. This one here. Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. One of my favorite actors. Charles Bronson. Big fan of Charles Bronson. Anything with Charles Bronson, I gotta see. Big fan of his. That is Anthony Quinn. I like Anthony Quinn. Zorba the Greek. Now this movie here, I own a copy of it. I love this movie. I've seen it a few times. Charles Bronson is in it, and it's a great fight movie. Great for bare knuckles. Hard times. I like everything about this movie. Everything. Fat City. Stacy Keach. I don't know who names their kid Stacy. I understand Leslie and you know, those kind. Now I've heard Leslie so many times associated with a male that now when I hear Leslie I think of male. Where years ago when I was younger, because I knew a girl in my neighborhood, her name was Leslie, and then I met a friend in high school, and his name, they called him Lee, but his name was Leslie, which is a fine name. But during those years until I met him, I only knew female named Leslie, a female named Leslie. And then I met him and he was Leslie, and it was kind of hard for a minute there to associate it with a male. But now, when I hear Leslie, I think of a male, because I've met so many people with that name. It's like a British name. English people have Leslie a lot, but Leslie's a masculine name and a feminine. It's a female name, but it's also masculine. You know, for those people that have that name, don't be shy about it. It's a good name. But anyway. Yeah, it's all like, what do you get used to? If you hear Leslie all the time and it's a girl, then you think, you know, I mean, in what was it, Cobra, Stallone, what does he say, what's your name? And he says his name is Alice or something. well, a few Alice in Chains, but if you hear Alice and it's guys all the time, hey, my name's Alice, whatever, eventually the brain will associate Alice with a male. You know, it could be like, you know, what's you know, Leonard. If you hear enough people that are female called Leonard, you start thinking Leonard is a female name. It's just whatever you get used to. All for you, body and soul. Never seen that. The Joe Louis story. I'm a fan of Joe Louis. I've never seen this. Kid Gallahan, Humphrey Bogart with that weird speech thingy, you know. Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley in a fight movie. Marlon Brando on the Waterfront. I've seen this. Good movie. Marlon Brando. Another one, yeah, it's in Spanish. You know who would have been a good fighter in a movie back in the 1950s? Jack Lord. Jack Lord would have been a good fighter. They should have made a movie with Jack Lord being a boxer. This kind of looks like Jack Lord, but it's not. Right there. Big fan of Jack Lord. Hawaii Five-0, 68 to 80. Especially the first 4 years. Champion. Kirk Douglas. Champion. Kirk. Paul Newman. I think originally when Sylvester Stallone handed in Rocky, everybody knows well, as the story goes, I don't know if everybody knows, but as the story goes, they wanted someone more famous to play the lead. And they mentioned Paul Newman and Robert Redford, Al Pacino. Al Pacino is like that big. He's going to play a heavyweight. Although Stallone is not much bigger, and he played a heavyweight. If you see him in Rocky 3, especially from like an older person's point of view, where you're bigger. When I was a kid and I saw that, he looked like a heavyweight to me because I was little. But when I see it now, I think he overdid the shredding, you know, trying to look cut. Way too thin for a heavyweight. He looks like a stick. Looks like a stick. He's very thin. That's not what a heavyweight looks like. Not only that, kind of like a waste of time that he worked out that hard to get that physique for a boxing movie. That is not what boxers look like. If you want to look realistic as a boxer, you know, be in shape but not cut. You know, like you look like you're bodybuilding. It's not what a boxer looks like. You know, the boxer, the body he had in Rocky 1 and maybe Rocky 2, that's a boxer. Rocky 3, no, that's, you know, that's like a bodybuilder trying to fight. Rocky 4, same thing. And I don't know, it's like over the top. It's overkill to look like that. Quiet, I'm making a video. The main event. The main event, Barbra Streisand. I saw this movie many years ago. Homeboy. Mickey Rourke. Homeboy. The last one. So anyway, that you could stop at any point to get the names, but those are all fight movies, boxing movies, and they're all on playing cards. That's why I got these. I don't know how to play cards, so I'm not really a card player, but I got it for the boxing. because I am a fan of the sport of boxing. Big fan. That's it for now. I may make something after, but for now, that's it. We're gonna probably eat something in a little bit. Got my flu shot today. So what they do now is they spray the needle with WD-40 so that it goes into your arm smoothly. It reduces needle friction. Helicopter. Those things, they should make them quieter. Too noisy. Like a big fan. Come up with a different, quieter blade. Anyway, I'm kidding about the WD-40. I don't want, I mean, you say something ridiculous, 10% of the population believes it. No matter how ridiculous, 10% of the population believes it. That's why people that get slandered, get maligned, that's why it's believable, because you have the moron factor in society, and when somebody gets slandered, it's a lot higher than 10% of people believing it. A lot higher. It's because, primates. That's the limitation of the human brain. It assumes the negative story is true because, I don't know, it's satisfying to think that it's true. But you meet somebody like that who believes anything, stay away from that person. That's not a good person.